Welcome to VDEOMKR.
The podcast that cuts past the highlight reel and takes you straight into the raw behind-the-scenes stories of creatives and makers. I'm Carly, founder of The Good Vibe Media, a woman-owned and operated video production agency and a creative studio space. Every week on VDEOMKR, I sit down with filmmakers, creators, and creative entrepreneurs for a deep, honest conversation you don't typically hear. The late nights, the pivots, the breakdowns that shape the breakthroughs. These are the conversations and stories that make people like me and so many other creatives need to hear. This is a space for growth, for lessons, for community, a place where we learn from each other's real, unfiltered journeys. This is VDEOMKR. Let's get rolling. Welcome back to another episode of VDEOMKR. I'm your host, Carly. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you're probably like, you're not shooting in your studio, or did you get a new studio room? What's happening here? That's because we're in Austin, Texas. We're here for South by Southwest. So excited to have our podcast guests here. Meet us in Austin, explore the city, have some fun. We are running on caffeine and fumes and adrenaline at the moment, but I am so freaking excited for this conversation with our guest Taylor today. Taylor is the co-founder of the Big Ass Calendar, the bold 4-foot planning tool and mindset system that helps individuals and teams intentionally design their year and goals, not just schedule them. She's deeply involved with the 100 Mile Group, the parent company that includes Big Ass Calendar and other related ventures, and she was recently promoted to CEO, overseeing multiple brands and strategic direction across products, partnerships, and team growth. Taylor is also known for her adventurous and high-intensity personal challenges, such as running 100-mile races, insane, biking across the U.S., and undertaking physically demanding experiences that tie in with personal development and intentional living. Experiences she connects with her philosophy around planning and living a full life. I'm so freaking stoked for this conversation. Thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Yes, and you literally just flew in. So we
run at a high pace.
Yeah. Okay, before we get started, I do want to do some rapid fire just to get us warmed up.
Okay.
Get the mics warmed up a little bit. So first question is, what's the first thing that you ever made that you were super proud of?
That I ever made? Right before I went to college, there was this contest. It was for something with cars that I don't know anything about, but it was like fluid you put in your car. Yeah. And whoever won this contest, they wanted you to make an ad that you won an iPad. Yeah. And I was like, this is amazing. I'm going to do it. And I made one for my mom and I made one for me, and I won first and second place for it. And I like making things. I guess it's the first time I ever can think of being measured by something, but it was the iPad. Yeah.
Clutch.
Love winning things.
I know. It's awesome. Okay. If you could collaborate on a new project with any entrepreneur or creator, who would it be and why?
Who would I want to do something with? I'm thinking for Big Ass Calendar. I think it'd be cool to do something with the Bucket List family for Big Ass Calendar specifically. I mean, they're just the coolest, obviously. So I think they would be really cool to do something around encouraging people to take trips and do adventures.
Yes.
That's a lot of what we do at Calendar. It's let's do the bucket list things now.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Okay, what's your go-to caffeine order?
Today I got an iced coffee, but my go-to is a cappuccino with almond milk.
Yum.
For here, I like to have a in-house cup. Yes, I don't like to go.
No.
If I can't take 5 minutes to have my coffee, there's an issue.
There's an issue. I think I have a lot of issues.
No. I mean, no. I've been trying to slow down a little bit. I'm like, I don't need to run out into the street to drink this.
Truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that. I really, really like that. Okay, where do you feel the most creative? Where's your creative hub?
When I get really creative when I'm after a really long run, after a breathwork class, do you ever do that?
Yeah.
After a breathwork class, I have to keep a notepad next to my head because it's like I roll over and it's like pop, 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 pop. And then every year I tried to do one backpacking trip a year where I go off grid and don't touch my phone. And after like 4 days, then I start to feel super creative. So it's like hitting the flow state in different ways, I guess.
For sure. How long are your backpacking trips usually?
Last year it was, I would say they're normally like a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have yours scheduled for this year?
I don't yet.
Okay.
No,
it's not on your big ass calendar yet?
It's not, because a lot of things have been things have been changing at such a high rate at the beginning of this year. And honestly, things that happen to everybody, right? So job, really big change, trying to get a handle on that. Families having some health problems, kind of on hold on some certain things. Just, your priorities change. You don't always pick what you're working towards. And once I kind of see how that's going to play out, there's so many things I want to do. I'll make it happen. So
for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. What's the hardest physical challenge that you've ever done?
I would say that there's two. Jesse, my business partner, Itzler, he does a lot of things like this, and people ask him all the time, and I completely agree with what he says, is when you get to a certain level of hard, it like doesn't really get harder. Like I haven't had anything go really wrong where like break my leg or like something bad happened. So that would be like harder. But my 100-mile race, after I had been awake all night and been on my feet for like 80 miles, I crashed out. Like that was really hard. And you're so far from the finish, 20 mile, you're still like a marathon from the finish. And you're so exhausted, and the sleep deprivation is what like kills me so much.
Yeah.
And then, so like that moment in particular.
Oh my gosh.
And then I've done a challenge called Rim to Rim to Rim a couple times.
At Grand Canyon?
Grand Canyon. And for those who don't know, if you've ever been to the South Rim of the Grand Canyon, that's the most famous spot that everyone goes to overlook it. So you can actually hike down, and most people don't. Like 98% of all people will never set foot into the Grand Canyon, but it's the best thing you could ever do. If you like to hike for 10 minutes, I suggest you start going down a little bit. You don't need to be phenomenally, is that a word? Fit. But if you are fit and you want a challenge, going rim, which is the South Rim, down into the canyon, across and back up is rim to rim. So you go into the South Rim to the North Rim.
Yeah.
And if you want to do that, then you can take a bus back. And if you want to have a really hard challenge, like that's a really good day, by the way. If you do that, like you're going to feel really proud of yourself and you're like, that's really hard. Yeah. But if you don't want to take the bus back, you can turn around and run back down and across and up. And every time I hit the south wall, it's like it's so unbelievable, because there's just like a 4,500 foot wall in front of you, and you've been on your feet for so long, and it's so intimidating, and there's no safety net. Like you're at the bottom of a canyon. There's no like aid station or someone to rescue you. It's like a $10,000 helicopter if you get stuck down there. So it's just like, do I sleep in a bush, or do I just cry for a second and then get out of here?
Yeah, because the only way out is up.
Seriously. Yeah.
How long does that take you to do?
It takes me, I mean, I'm not a fast person. And I've done it between 18 hours and 22 hours is where I've ranged, but people who are really fast can, like people who run it way more. I wouldn't suggest being out there much longer than what I've done, though. I've had like a friend do it in 24 hours, and you're like pretty messed up.
Yeah.
When you get out.
What does recovery look like after doing something like that?
Eating a lot.
Yeah.
Sleeping a lot.
Yeah.
But it's the best after. It's the best after. It's like, when you have a really good night out, and then you wake up, like in college, you wake up with your friends in the morning, you're like the best debrief of all time.
Yeah.
It's that. You all just basically got hazed together, and you went through something no one else understands. You're walking down the street being like, no one knows what I just did yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, it feels insane. You're in the grocery store, like, no one knows I was just at the bottom of the Grand Canyon yesterday. And so the debriefs are the funnest. It's the best.
And like physically you feel it too. Like you're holding that because you're physically depleted. And it's like it's a depletion that like is so rewarding.
Well, it's like, are you doing your Ironman with anyone?
No, I'm not. It's like a solo thing. I've done 9 like full marathons, and majority I've done with my best friend from college. So this is kind of like a first solo thing that I don't know how. I feel like what it feels like, Taylor, is like, especially with the swim. We were talking a little bit before the podcast about the swim. I feel like a new student. It's like a discomfort that kind of gives me the butterflies and excitement, because I'm like, the first time I got into that lap pool, I'm like, what do I do with my hand? I don't know how to breathe. I don't know anything. And I think it excites me the most because I know, like, in the back of my head, like, when I cross the finish line, that's going to be the most rewarding feeling ever, because 6 months ago I was like, how the fuck do I kick my legs and move my arms in the water?
Triathlons are so rewarding because it's not things, I mean, most people I don't think are getting into a pool or haven't since they were little.
Yeah.
And most people aren't ever going on a road bike.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of people don't run. I hadn't run far when I was training for my first one too. And it's like you're combining all these things, and you have to learn how to train, and you have to learn how to clip into your bike, and you have to learn how to swim. Like you said, I don't know how to use a swim cap. I don't know what swim goggles to get. I don't know what bathing suit to get. I don't know how to be like socially acceptable at this lap pool. Like people just, it's so, the people who swim all the time, there's a culture to it.
For sure.
And you're trying to not get in anyone's way. And, oh my God, like, you know, there's so much. It's like traumatizing.
It truly is.
You know, but then you feel like, okay, a few weeks in, you kind of know what's going on. A few months in, you really know what's going on. And like, that's the best thing.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure. Yeah. Okay. I want to talk. Oh, let me see if I have one more question. Oh yeah, I do. Okay. I'm like, let's just get to the conversation, but I really want to ask these ones too. Okay. So if you could schedule a day off anywhere in the world, what would it be?
A day off? I would love to like romp around Tokyo all day and just eat. That's like really sounds amazing to me right now. I've never done it. That or be in Patagonia. I've also not done it. So like those are some things that are on the high end of my list, and just be off grid running around.
So cool. Yeah. I love it. Okay, last one, and then we'll dive into the convo. What's your go-to calendar hack for keeping life fun and productive?
I schedule my go-to hack. Okay, this might be a roundabout way to answer this, but I am very intentional about making girlfriends right now.
Yeah.
I moved to New York City a year ago, and if I meet you, I follow up with you within 24 hours and put something on the calendar with us within 2 weeks.
Yes.
Like, it is so serious in that way. It's like a fun thing to do, but I always have coffee dates, go out to bars, sauna dates, dinner dates, walks, whatever it is, whatever we connected over, I just roll with that and I get it on the calendar. So there's new people coming to my life all the time, and those people start repeating as you hit it off. But there's always new people entering my life. There's always fun conversations to have. And then I'm always getting connected to other people through it's a waterfall effect when you start meeting new people.
For sure.
So I think a lot of people ask me about how to make friends, and because I am making them a lot. I think I'm in a high percentile of someone who is bringing new people into their life all the time. And that's always keeping my calendar interesting. Coffee dates before work. I had like 3 last week.
Yeah.
You know, and then combining groups when you want to go out or dinners. Like, it keeps my calendar interesting all the time because new people are also inviting me to new things, you know, showing me new parts of the city. And
so cool.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, I want to talk about the big ass calendar. Okay. I would love to hear the origin story of like how the idea came about and how it launched and kicked off.
Sure. So Jesse, I'll give a little bit background on Jesse Itzler. That's my co-founder. There's 3 of us. Jesse Itzler is the biggest name. Like, he is a personality. If you don't know him, go look him up. He is a serial entrepreneur. He's made 5 big exits, like to Coke, Warren Buffett. He's had a crazy life. He used to be a rapper. He's run 100-mile races. Like, he is a character. He was at the beginning of saunas, cold plunges. He's can really see wellness trends coming, and he always is just trying things on himself. Like, his biggest thing is fun. So I found him on Instagram in 2018, 2017 now, so long ago, like 9 years ago. And he didn't have a very big following, but I was like, this guy is crazy.
Yeah.
And I was just training for my first half Ironman, and I didn't know anyone who did anything like this. And him and his friends were doing weird stuff. And one of the things that they were doing was like these races where they climb up and down hills a million times. And I was like, I just want to be this person's orbit. So he had coaching programs and things like that at the time, and I was in one of them. And when you joined it, you got this box, and inside of the box, like it got sent to you in the mail, there was a folded up calendar. It was an annual calendar, which is what our big ass calendar is. You can see all 365 days on one page.
Yeah.
It wasn't called like the big ass calendar yet. It said build your life resume at the top, because he's always said that's like the resume you should be working on is your whole life, not just work. And that really resonated with me. I loved it. And I used to go viral with it on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I was emailing whatever work person I could find on Jesse's team and being like, can you guys take this out of the coaching program and give me a link? Like, I can sell this.
Yes.
This is before TikTok Shop or whatever. I just thought it was fun, and I knew it was really resonating with people. That was many years before I even connected with Jesse, like on a work level.
Yeah.
So then when me and Jesse started working together in 2023, we were talking about different things that we were doing, and I loved the calendar.
Yeah.
And I thought, like, this could be something. He's like, you think so? Like, he was like, I mean, run with it. And then our other partner, Alex Sutton, he's very good at all the behind the scenes. Like, he is an absolute powerhouse behind the scenes. He's like, I can make this calendar better. He got it designed, all the samples he was rolling in. And I was like, and I can sell it. So we just started doing it, and it went crazy. So that was like the origin story. Jesse had the calendar and like the philosophy around it, which is the biggest philosophy around the calendar is putting, we call it the 164 method.
Yeah.
1 Misogi on your calendar a year. It's a year defining event, 6 mini adventures, and 4 winning habits. So we put that philosophy with the calendar, and it really resonates with people. It makes people keep things on their calendar that they really care about.
100%. I have a personal big ass calendar at my house, like for me and my family. And then we also have one for our office at work.
100%.
And it has been the most gratifying feeling at, getting towards the end of the year, top of the year, to like lay everything out. It is, I can't even describe how much joy it brings to the soul. It is so rewarding.
My brain is so busy, and I used to be someone who didn't put a lot on their calendar because I wanted to be available for when things came up. I don't know what that is, because I know that also resonates with a lot of people.
Yeah.
I was the same way. I was like, oh, I want to go to the random dinner or random whatever beach hang on the weekend. But then when I started watching the people whose lives I looked up to the most or seemed to be having the most fun, they were the ones booking the concert tickets in advance, booking the campsites in advance, booking the flights.
Yeah.
And so once I started trying to do that, the most meaningful times in my life over the past 8 years have been planned.
Yeah.
Like, I do the most spontaneous stuff all the time. I live like 500 lives every year. But when I think about the most meaningful times in my life, every single one is planned.
Yeah.
So it's just, I hope if people aren't big planners, to try it, because it's just so much more gratifying when you work towards a big goal, or you get to look forward to something. It could be something silly like your college friends meeting up. You get to look forward to it now. And that's such an underrated thing about happiness, is having something to look forward to.
For sure. Absolutely. And you could even allow spontaneity. Like when I think about how I use the big ass calendar, there are some, and I want to talk about the design and how it's evolved, and you've made it into like different, adapted it in different ways. But I feel like there are ways where you're like, no, I'm not exactly sure what that trip or that whatever it is going to be, but it's there. And I know that this weekend in October, like this is when we're doing X, and not attached to like exactly how it's going to look when you get there. But
yeah, I think when you put an emphasis on planning, people like to immediately go to that feeling rigid for some reason. I am so type B. I can't stress this enough.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have my flights booked out of Austin. I have suitcases packed for like 3 weeks right now. I might go back home. I don't know. Like, I am flying by the seat of my pants at all times. But I also And I'll book the trip to like Mexico City with no plan, but the trip is booked, to your point.
Yeah.
And you can be as organized about it or not, but the key is to look at your year and know that time is your greatest resource, right? And then take time to put things on the calendar that matter to you. Like if you've always wanted to go to a Coldplay concert and they're touring, like book the tickets and just trust that that's going to be the best thing that happens that weekend.
Yes.
Right? For you.
Yeah.
And commit to things.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to, I would say the more I put on my calendar, the more spontaneity I have, because I'm meeting more people. I'm getting invited to more things. I'm out in the world more.
Yes.
Like, I think any of my friends that know me would also say I'm one of the most spontaneous people they've ever met, but I also have the most plans of anyone. And how can both of those things be true? Because I take advantage of my entire calendar. Mm-hmm. When you see your whole year at once, you're like, okay, that's not a lot of time. How am I going to take advantage of it?
Totally. Okay, so let's talk about the design.
Okay.
Yeah, on all that, because there's so many elements and stuff that you guys have worked hard to implement.
Yeah.
How you use the calendar. So how did you develop that?
So again, I inherited Jesse's original calendar, which was you have the months going down the side and the days of the week going across. So January is a row, February is a row, March is a row. And at first you're like, what? Like that is crazy. But your brain adjusts pretty quick. And then we just try to make it as simple as possible because we want people to put a lot of things on their calendar and for the calendar not to seem busy. So when you first get it, you might be like, this is kind of plain. But you have to remember that you're about to put so much stuff on it. We don't want it to be even more overwhelming. So we try to make the design as simple as possible. And then the thing that I love about the calendar is that it's dry erase and that we have color coded sticky notes.
Love
so this is
those.
Love these. You're like, what do I need those for? Well, let me tell you. Yeah. So I assign a sticky note to different buckets in my life. So work travel, personal travel, birthdays, holidays, big goals. And that way, when I look at the calendar, you can see how you're spending your time. You'd be like, oh, wow, I'm doing a lot of work travel. Or if you're making an intention, like, I haven't been seeing my parents that much and I want to see them more. When you lay out it on your calendar and you're like, oh, there's 2 trips. Is that enough for me? It's like, it's an accountability tool 100%. For how you're spending your time.
100%.
You know, it shows you your priorities. You can say, I want to see my parents a lot, but if it's not on the calendar, it's not going to happen. So it's nice when you assign a sticky note to it, a specific color to how you spend your time, because it becomes very apparent where you're spending the most time and what your real priorities are.
Totally. Yeah, for sure. And then do you want to talk a little bit about, because didn't you guys have a smaller version, the planner? Okay, so talk about some of the things that have branched off.
So our main, like our flagship product is the big ass calendar. This is the one that's like 4 feet wide that you have.
Yeah.
It's very big. And then we're always listening to our customers. We're in the DMs. We see all the tags. And 2 of the biggest things were dry erase. It's now dry erase. And then some people want it, but just don't have the wall space. So we made a smaller one. And that's the mini big ass calendar. And that can fit on the back of any door. That's how we actually designed it. So everyone has the back of a door, but it can also just go on your wall. It can go on your desk. But it's amazing and it's really taking off. And then Jesse's favorite product, because he uses his calendar to plan out his year, all his big things high level. But the product he uses every single day is our planner, because he's on the road so much. So it's the same thing. It comes with color-coded sticky notes. We do month at a glance in our planner. And then there's also a mini big-ass calendar in the back. So you can have your calendar with you. It folds up. It's like a desktop planner. You know those ones that just like sit on a desk and you see the month at a time, but it folds up.
Cool.
So that's how I was inspired. And I mean, that is all. People love our planner. It's way bigger than any other planner on the market. Jesse's like, no, I want it big. And some people are like, this thing is so big, but it's really useful, and because the boxes are big enough where you can write on each day, but you're also seeing your whole month at once versus day at a time.
Yeah. Okay, so I saw you post, this might have been a couple weeks, months, I don't remember when, but did someone copy your calendar? Like, wasn't there like a fraud? So how do you handle that? Like that, when I saw your story about that, I was like, oh my gosh, that's terrible, because it was like, then that customer thought that it was your product, but it actually wasn't your product, and they got a totally different customer experience.
So two things have been happening. Well, two things have been happening to us. One is scammers.
Yeah.
Out of China mostly. So it's just hard because basically if anyone hasn't experienced this themselves, there's all these spam accounts. They take our ads. So it's like my face. I'm on a lot of ads. Jesse's face. He's on a lot of ads. They just take the video and then they run it as their ad to a different web page and they show the price like 50% off. Or $0 shipping across the world, and people are like, yay. And if you see something online that feels too good to be true, it probably is.
Right.
I think people feel a little too safe. Like things have gotten really worked out in the past 10 years, but there's a lot of scammers.
Yeah.
And people have ordered from them and then they get no product because it's just a pure money scam.
Gosh.
Or in a month, they get this crinkled up piece of paper that's all folded up in a plastic bag literally dumped on their front door, and it's horrible. It doesn't have anything that the sticky notes, the dry erase marker, ours come rolled up nicely in a tube. If ours come damaged, we send you a new one, like without question. We also ship out in 24 hours. So people get so mad.
Yeah.
I ordered this in December. It's the end of January. I'm like, well, we didn't do it.
Yeah.
But then they get really upset and they don't tell us until it's been a month. I understand it's not their fault, but it's also not my customer.
Totally.
Like, I can't take care of you when I don't have your email address. I didn't
Totally
ship anything to you. So that's been tough. And there's a lot you can do on the back end to help prevent it. And we're coming at it from all angles, but it's like whack-a-mole because they just pop up. And then there's legitimate companies out there that are just copying our idea in general.
Yeah.
And so our customers are just confused.
Yeah.
So I would say the only places we currently sell are Amazon, TikTok, and thebigasscalendar.com. And everything's under the Big Ass Calendar for our store. But for any other products too, I would kind of keep that in mind. Most people aren't going on a bunch of different resellers. So yeah, but it's hard. I mean, I'm learning this for the first time. I can't tell people what to do.
Yeah.
How to fix this because we're working through it.
Yeah.
It'll be way better next season because this is the first season it happened to us. So we'll be way ahead of it. But this was tough.
Yeah.
This holiday season. Holiday season is also calendar season because New Year, New Me, the year starts. So the holidays are a crazy time. It's also calendar season for us. But
yeah. Okay. So because this is the first product that you ever created and sold, right? For yourself? Or what did you do before all of this? What led you into now running this company?
so many things. I graduated from school with a finance and economics degree. I went into corporate finance.
Okay.
I mean, I was in Excel.
Yeah.
It was an amazing program. I met amazing people. And I think any of them from that era in my life would tell you I was not good at that at all. I was like the personality hire.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I worked really hard and I just wasn't good at that. And I'm still not. It's not what I'm meant to be doing. But I also would prank everyone for their birthdays. It was fun.
Yeah.
And then I was really burnt out on that, and I did sales. I just wanted to get into a sales job, and I had a friend who had been selling for California Closets in New York City, and you basically go to people's houses and sell them custom built-ins.
Yep.
And that was the opposite of my finance job. So I was like, sign me up.
Totally.
I get to just talk to random people every day, and I have a good eye for design, so it was fun for me, and I did that through the pandemic.
Okay.
And then I started learning social media. I was freelance, was living off savings. I quit my job, lived in my Jeep for a little bit, pandemic era, did some
nomad stuff.
Yeah. And started learning how to edit. And it was bad. I wasn't setting out to be a content creator or anything like that, but I've always been curious about it. And then I started doing some freelance TikTok stuff in 2021.
Yeah.
And I went to start my own company. I was going to start a pepper spray company, and I still might one day because I think I could do something really cool in that space. And then Jesse called me to work for him.
Okay.
I had been in Jesse's atmosphere through a lot of different things, but I was trying at the time to do work for the running company he has called All Day Running Co. It's like, your socials aren't good, and I'm better at this. Like, I could do this on the side while I start my company.
Yes.
And they had gone with somebody else, so I said, okay, no worries. And then just from putting myself out there so much in that universe, like, my name was just out there. And then he was looking for someone to run his brand and called me.
Yeah, that's so cool. It's so cool to know the backstory of like all the little threads that have led to
so many things. Try everything. You don't know where it's going to go. I mean, I think everyone says that to you in your 20s. Just keep following the next thing. I was such an overthinker, and I was panicking the whole time. I put so much pressure on myself. I'm such a Capricorn. And I always knew I wanted my own thing. And my dad's an entrepreneur. And I also had like a lawn mowing business when I was a kid.
I love this.
And pet sitting. Like, people asked me, did you always want to start a company? I was like, yeah, I didn't really think about it. I would just start making money on my own instead of going to get a job at the coffee shop. I was like, I could cut my neighbor's grass like whenever I want.
Totally.
Like, that's
charge what I want, do what I want.
Babysit, check their mail when they're whatever. I was like, what do you guys need me to do? So yeah, it just snowballs when you just keep following the next best thing. I have a lot of friends who are like 25 right now. They went into corporate America. They're done with it.
Yeah.
And they know it. And I said, the best thing you can do is just, now that you know that you're done with it, is to try literally anything else instead of say right where you are. Like, it does not need to work out. You could join a startup that fails tomorrow, but you're already moving into the next direction.
For sure.
And the worst thing you can do is stay there for another year and be in turmoil about what to do next.
Totally.
You know?
Absolutely. But one of the things I can tell about you too is like having that nature and that wiring, you also like appreciate people, and you know the power of connecting and relationship building.
Yeah.
Like, I can tell that's been such a thick thread in your life. And I also, very thick. And I also like absolutely love the community building and the events and the get-togethers and the meetups. Like, there's literally one on Monday here in Austin that when you guys started talking about online, I'm like, sign me up. I will be there at the 5K. And it's fucking so cool to see all these people, because I think you did, can you talk about what you did to promote? It's like 10 people. We're going to allow 10 people to come in, post.
Yeah. So we've never been to South by Southwest before. We painted the side of the building that Butcher's daughter is moving into. I don't know if you know them, but they have a restaurant in LA and New York City. It's so good for anyone who's ever been, like, yum.
Yeah.
And they're moving to Austin. They're going to open the first week of April. And we're partnering with them. We painted the side of their building. So our calendar is called the Big Ass Calendar, and we painted it the Big Ass Wall. You love it. So fun. And we're having a no phones party tomorrow night, Sunday night. And we have a lot of friends that are here. So it's an invite only party. It's everyone that we know and some friends of friends. And then we're like, let's open it up to 10 people in our community.
Yes.
And the way you can get an invite is if you go in front of our wall and take a picture of it and post it online. And we're going to pick 10 people later today.
Yeah. Which
So
is
we're getting
epic.
some crazy.
Dude, it is hilarious.
It started off with just like selfies in front of them, and then late last night before I went to bed, there was someone that did a walking handstand all the way across, like in the middle of the night. There's people showing up in costumes in the middle of the night. I'm like, guys, I love you.
The creativity is thriving. It's so
thriving.
awesome.
It's like, oh no, it's like some of these are gonna be great adds to the party.
Totally. Yeah. I love it so much. But talk a little bit about how these are like such big marketing campaigns for the calendar too. Like these get-togethers and meetups. Tell me the reason why you guys are really putting so much energy around those types of events.
I think what separates our calendar from a poster board, you know, it ultimately is a giant piece of paper on your wall, is we do make a great product, and I stand behind that. I love our packaging. I love our messaging. We really put so much effort into giving people an amazing experience, but it's also creating a community around people who like doing things in the real world. We're an analog brand in a very AI world, and people often ask us, well, what about your Google Calendar, Outlook? And those all exist. All my appointments, I have the craziest calendar you've ever seen in your life are on that. But like we said before, we want people to put such an emphasis on going to build connection in the real world and do things in the real world. So we should be doing that for our customers and showing us doing it. That's how we all live our lives. So this is actually the first events that we've put on. Our company's 3 years old, so we're babies.
Yeah.
And we're excited to put things on in the real world. And the no phones party, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Like, again, I think we're trying to figure out ways to kind of lube people's social vibes up when they walk through the door, because the phone is such a pacifier for people right now.
For sure.
I'm like texting my business partner, Alex, we need to get like boas and sunglasses for people. I don't know, but but we have it's going to be fun. And I know it's going to be a good time after people warm up, but it's just realizing that it's so abnormal now to go without your phone. And we want to give people a lot to do that is just fun and being super present in the moment.
100%. And it's crazy that is like, it's a challenge. You know, that is a challenge, and in a way that is to better yourself, your mind, like human connection, like all in so many different ways.
Me and my girlfriends talk about this a lot. I'm single right now, and I've seen some videos about this online, but they'll say we go out all the time, but like guys never approach us, or we never meet anybody, and then there'll be a picture of what them going out means, and it's like them huddled around a table with their phones out, not talking to anybody. And it's like, guys, like we need to look up and talk to people.
100%.
And it's so simple, but we've really gotten away from that. So it's just like facing out. If you don't have your phone as a crutch, what are you going to do? Like, you're going to go talk to somebody.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about who's coming.
This
and
is so
I think
cool.
we're going to have a lot of fun.
This is so cool. I love it so much. What are some challenges that you're leaning into this year?
Like personally?
Yeah, just any challenge that, I know it seems like a big, theme and thread and value that you have.
So in the past, I would say for the past 8 years, I've done a lot of physical challenges, a lot. Like it's the half Ironman to the 100K to rim to rim to climbing big mountains to the 100 mile. I mean, it just snowballs onto each other and very time consuming. Also tons of growth, like a rocket ship of growth, what you learn about yourself when you do the hard things. And if you've never done hard things before and you don't consider yourself an athlete, I don't think it matters. I think it's really important for people to try a hard physical challenge. That can be a 5K for you. That could be an Ironman. That could be a 100-mile race. That could be climbing like that big mountain you always see that you've always wanted to do. But you'll learn so much more about yourself that translates to every area of your life. You'll be more confident. You'll believe that you can do anything. I've done so many of these things that I never thought I would do, that I believe that I can do anything. You know, when you do things that you didn't previously think that you ever were going to do in your life, and then you cross the finish line or you make it to the top, it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know? So that's what I've been doing for the past few years. So that all said, I've also moved locations where I live probably 10 plus times over the past 10 years. I haven't had a community where I live as an adult. I haven't had that sense of I'm going home or a ton of couch friends where I live. And that is the biggest priority in my life right now, is to build community. And people might be like, that's not the same. Well, I treat anything that I lean into like a full-time job. Like, I am meeting so many new people every week. I am scheduling so much and making it a big priority. And for me personally, I can bite off 2 big things at once. So right now it's career. I just went through a big role change. There's a lot going on with work. And it's social life, which might sound easy for a lot of people, but I've put that, I guess, on the back burner for the past few years, because I have been, take 2 years ago when I was training for the 100-mile race. It was work and it was training for the 100-mile race. And people would ask me, how can you do everything? I wasn't cleaning my house.
Totally.
I was not going out. I basically didn't drink for like 4 years, not even thinking about it, just because I had to wake up in the morning. I was so tired. You just don't even think about these things and just trying to keep myself alive, like eating, sleeping.
Yep.
Like, I was like, I wasn't dating. I wasn't building community. And so right now, building community is such a priority for me. And that involves putting yourself out there a lot. That involves me dating when I haven't dated in like 5 years.
Oh my gosh.
So like I wouldn't say it's like scary, but it is. I'm going through a lot of personal growth with it because I've changed so much in the past 5 years, and now I'm putting myself out there in that way. So I'm feeling stretched all the time.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I do also feel like there are those seasons too, right? Where, because I'm kind of in that year of like putting my head down and training hard.
Yeah.
Because the years leading up to it, I've been so community focused. And now this year I'm like, oh, how can I like say no to more coffee dates, you know, and like get my circle started. But I know like in a year or two, it's like this beautiful balance and flow that we're going to have for our whole life, really, in the seasons that we go through.
Yeah. Balance for me isn't being balanced. It's just, you know, serving whatever is exciting to you or important to you.
Yeah.
So if coffee dates aren't important to you, saying no to those and going to the pool.
Right.
Like that's what's going to make you feel good. If you're going to a bunch of things that aren't important to you and your priorities are elsewhere, like you feel that misalignment.
Totally.
So even though I'm all in on things in a borderline obsessive way, when I do it, like I just go so hard at whatever I want. I feel balanced.
Yeah.
Because I'm only doing things that I want.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I want to shift gears a little bit toward like around content creation, knowing that, you know, you got into content creation like around 2020, 21. Your content is awesome. Big ass calendar content is awesome. You have this product that you are selling, you know, in the digital space. Can you tell us like how your content creation has kind of evolved and what you see for the future, things that you're kind of thinking of for the future when it comes to the content that you're creating and putting out digitally?
I think content is our biggest opportunity. I've been asked this a couple of times in the past month, like, what are you guys focusing on? And I just said content. Like, there's nothing bigger than content. I don't know what it is about me, but it's really hard to embarrass me.
Yeah.
And so I also don't really overthink. I honestly think it's because my confidence is coming from other places, but I don't care if I like look ugly online or if the angle's bad. Or when I did my 100-mile race, I had my sister filming me. I said, don't stop rolling the cameras.
Yeah.
Like,
keep it going.
Keep it going. Things are going to get gnarly. Just show it.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I'm crying. I'm like swelling up, bloated. I'm pulling a tampon out of me, like behind like graphic, crazy, like, but I'm like,
Taylor,
just show what it is.
Yes.
Okay. Like show what it is, because people are like, oh, I can't believe you did that. Like, me neither, man. Like, it's so insane. Like, just show how crazy it is, because I want people to know, like, I did not run cross country. I don't know how to do this. Like, but you can train for anything. And all that to say is I have no problem being authentic. I have no problem just showing exactly what's going on. I ran Jesse's personal brand and still do. And people say, I love Jesse. Well, I think I do. I said, no, if you love his online presence, you do know him. Like I know how to show kind of exactly what's going on. Of course, I'm going to show great parts of things, but I also kind of show you like the ugly side of it too, or like the unglamorous part. And I think how that applies to calendar is I want to show people's real world experiences. I want, like how we're doing the event tonight, if I'm trying to show aspiration, I want to show real things in the world. I celebrate people going to the Olympics, and I also celebrate people getting off their couch and running the local 5K.
Yes.
I don't care if someone's famous. I don't care if they don't have an Instagram account. If they're in our community and they're doing things that make them proud, I want to show that. And the idea is to highlight those stories. We're trying to come out with consistent ways. I would love to have a podcast, but I want it to be something that's not like teachy-telly.
Totally.
I have the best conversations ever with people.
Yeah.
Ever. People are doing crazy stuff and fun stuff. And I think things don't need to be so out there to be inspiring or make you kind of think, oh, maybe I can do that. For example, do you know Sean Purry from My First Million? Or do you know that podcast? So he came over to Jesse's house to film a YouTube.
Okay.
And he had said, Jesse, you taught me about Misogi a year ago, which is the year defining event. It's like, what's the first big thing you're going to put on your calendar, like your half Ironman, and your whole year is kind of revolving around it. And he said, the physical things didn't really resonate with me, but I wanted a big goal. Yeah. And then he said he was listening to this guy play piano, and he said it was like the most beautiful song he's ever heard. And he goes, well, if I dedicated myself to learning this song on the piano, and he's 38 years old, has never played piano.
Yeah.
He goes, could I play it? Like, if I got lessons, why not me?
Yes.
You know? And so he told that to me and Jesse, and he goes, can I play it for you? And he walked over to the piano and he played. I grew up with a piano in my house. I love going to piano bars. I've never been so touched by a song. Oh my God, I could cry.
Oh my God.
But it's crazy because things like that show you that it's not too late to start. And
Yes.
there's so many things that people talk about all the time. I would love to be able to play the piano. I've written that off. And then for some reason, I haven't written off so many other things. I'm like, oh, physically I can do anything. Work-wise, I like shoot for the stars. But for some reason, piano's off the list. Now piano's on the list. It's just a decision to make.
Yes.
You know? So highlighting things like that and making people realize that life is long, and he's 38 years old. It took him that long to learn piano, but now he can play piano until he's like 85, 90, whenever.
That's
so
cool.
It's really cool. So socially, I want to be putting a lot of that stuff out there. I want the best thing for me is when people come up and say, I did this thing I never thought I could do, or I spent this time with my family that I normally didn't. My whole life's changed. I get this for everyone in my life because it's completely changed how I spend my time. I learn new things all the time. I'm excited. It's so fun. It's the funnest thing ever. But it can start with content, just by showing what people are up to.
Yes. That has to be the most rewarding feeling, is hearing those stories.
It's the best.
And how like the product that you created was with the intention and the mission statement behind it to make the impact of people actually like taking more control over their time to actually see and experience the things that they want.
Yep.
Yeah, which is so freaking cool. You mentioned like in the beginning of this episode how, life stuff, unexpected things happen, like health things, family things. How do you manage that? Like the unexpected life stuff that surfaces that we don't have control over. How do you manage that and move through that? For me, it's like my personality is like, I love to put things on the calendar, to write out the list. These are my goals. And sometimes I get really defeated when shit happens. And like, I'm like, okay, well, now plot twist. The year's going to look a lot different than how I anticipated it would be, or the month's going to look a lot different than how I anticipated it would be. If someone's in that right now and feeling it, what would you tell them?
I think, when goals and priorities show up in your life that you didn't plan for, being able to shift to them isn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that that you won't have other opportunities to put yourself first. I think it's always just kind of an intuition thing. When you know something's really important and your priorities shift, not to be hard on yourself, how do you even tell people like how to move through that?
Yeah.
I would say this is what I would say. I keep a running list of things I want to do in my life, so that when I'm feeling lost or life's overwhelming, I look at that list and I see how I can incorporate them, and I do try to prioritize them on my calendar. If I have to move and shift things, more things are going to get put on my calendar again. Like, I have no doubt on that. I do keep my life feeling very optimistic and exciting even in bad times, because there are still things to look forward to. Here's an example. So I said I am having some health problems with my family, but we and we're trying to figure out, me and my sisters are spread out, my parents are spread out, and we're like, okay, like we need to come together soon. Where are we gonna go? And we decided to go on a family vacation. Like, it's not a convenient time.
Yeah.
There's health problems going on, but we put this on the calendar as soon as we moved a bunch of things around. So now we're all gonna go to Puerto Rico in 2 weeks and spend time with each other. And we've had that to look forward to for the past month. So that was not on the calendar. A lot moved to put that on the calendar, but that's a priority. Yeah. And now we all got to look forward to that, and we're all going to spend time together. So it's like we adjusted to the situation, but still, and I know that can't apply to everybody, but I think there's moments like that. It's making the best of your situation.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah.
And then always seeing where you can put those little moments. Like if you wanted to travel a lot and your dog's really sick or family's really sick and whatever is going on, you can't leave. What are other pieces of joy or newness? Or could you go to do something with local restaurants where you're trying different things that could bring that same spark that you were searching for into your everyday? Because I would say that you probably can.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still prioritizing yourself. It just might look different than you expected.
For sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Probably like community too. Like surrounding yourself with those relationships and those people that can help be a mirror and reflect back to you. And like, no, this is your priority. These are your values. Like reconnect to that, and then you can always find like the silver lining and know the next steps to take in order to still see the year in a way that like makes you feel like full.
Yeah. And I have friends going through so much stuff right now.
Yeah.
Like, I have friends trying to get pregnant and it's hard and they can't travel like they want to or do like half the things that they want to do. So they're having to shift on what fulfillment looks like when their biggest goal is to get pregnant. It's like, you know, it's tough, but they're still putting local things on their calendar or inviting friends in town or having special date nights. Like there's always things you can do to adjust to your situation.
Yeah.
And versus just being, well, I can't do the original thing that I thought I'm going to do nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, I want to talk to you for 5 hours, Taylor, but I do need to wrap this up because the team is giving me the cue. Okay. So I've got one question before we kind of bring things to a close. And this is a question we ask all of our podcast guests. It's a letter to future makers. You're the ultimate maker. You're the ultimate creator. I can tell just by the little bit of knowing you and now having this conversation with you. So I'm excited to hear what you're going to say to this. But if there's a young creative or entrepreneur that found this podcast 10 years from now, what's one piece of advice that you would want them to take from you?
They found it 10 years from now?
Yeah.
I would say I'm sure people have said this before, but I would say just do it. So even when you're bad, put it out there. And if you're like the embarrassment's too high, do other things in your life outside of the creative and the building that embarrass you and make you uncomfortable. Like sign up for the Ironman where you have to learn all these things. And maybe that's easier for you to put out there and be embarrassed by because it'll make you less embarrassed in this creative side that feels really personal.
Yeah.
So the more I embarrass myself in other areas, running, learning, going to weird workout classes, showing up to weddings alone, solo traveling, all these different things that build my confidence makes it so I can really put myself out there in other ways, like creatively. So start when you're bad. If it feels really crazy, keep growing in these other areas of your life that don't feel so personal because it will translate.
Yes. Okay, but speaking of like weird workouts, have you done that trampoline workout
No,
yet?
when I just saw
I'm dying.
this video where like their knees are going
Yes.
up. No, I was like,
I've got to try that.
I need to try everything. But
They
that's
gotta
all
have some in New York. I'm sure they have those.
I'm sure they have
somewhere.
they have everything. I've been to so many crazy things, but to that point, like I have friends who don't go to crazy workout classes. Like that's so weird. I don't know how to do that. And yeah, half the things I do are so weird and I've never done it. And you just realize no one's paying attention to you like genuinely. And the more stuff you do, you realize a lot of people are showing up by themselves. No one's looking at you. No one cares that you're bad. The biggest thing you could do is just bring a good energy into any room that you go in and like fake it till you make it, honestly. Like the better your energy it is, the more you're going to attract, even when you look really dumb.
Amen. Gosh, I love it so much. Okay, how can people stay connected? Where can they find you?
I'm on Instagram at Taylor Prokes, and if you want to be contacted, if you want to be connected to the Big Ass Calendar, we're at the Big Ass Calendar on everything.
Sweet. Thank you so much for your time. This was so fun.
So fun.
So fun.